Hello, my name's Mindy and thank you for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book haul from last week, um, which is up into August the 28th. So, no, August 27th, sorry. The first book I got here is by Carla Negers called Cedar Brook. It's a Swift River Valley novel. All these books I got from the publishers for reviews. So, unlikely partners bound by circumstance or by fate. Being rescued by a good-looking bad boy firefighter isn't how Samantha Bennett expected to start her stay in Knightsbridge, Massachusetts. Now she has everyone's attention, especially that of Justin Sloan, her rescuer, who wants to be known to know why she was camped out in an abandoned old New England cider mill. Samantha is a treasure hunter who has returned to Knightsbridge to solve a 300-year-old mystery and salvage her good name. Justin remembers her well. He's the one who alerted her late mentor to her iffy past and got her fired. But just because he doesn't trust her doesn't mean he can resist her. Samantha is daring, determined, seized by wanderlust, everything that stoic Justin never knew he wanted until now. And the next one is The Lost Property Office. This is the Section 13, Book 1. Okay. You're a tracker, Jack Buckles, like your father and his father before him. 13-year-old Jack Buckles can find things. Not just a missing glove or the other sock, but mysterious things, magical things. If only he or the other could find his father, who has disappeared in London without a trace. But Jack's father was not who he claimed to be, and was instead a member of a secret society of detectives that has served the crown for centuries. In order to save his father, Jack must find the ember, which holds a secret that's been kept since the Great Fire of London. In his middle grade debut, James R. Hannibal takes readers on a thrilling adventure through history with a touch of English magic. And the next one is called The Call by Piedar O'Gillian. 3 minutes to save your life. 3 minutes, you wake up alone in a horrible land. A horn sounds, the call has begun. 2 minutes, the Seedhar are close. They're the most beautiful and terrible people you've ever seen, and they've seen you. 1 minute, Nessa will be called soon. No one thinks she has any chance to survive, but she's going to prove them wrong. Time's up. Could you survive the call? And, this came out this month in August. It comes out on the 30th, which is tomorrow. The Lost Property Office comes out in November. And this novel has already come out. The Carla Negers novel. Okay, and these came to me. I don't remember asking for them, but I may have. The first one is Fever Tree by Tim Applegate, and it comes out this month. When mysterious stranger Dieter arrives in the historic coastal town of Crooked River, the residents take notice. Deckhands, bartenders, and shopkeepers befriend him, and the charming but hesitant Maggie Patterson falls in love. Teddy Mink, the town's notorious and often paranoid drug runner, is convinced that he's threatening his livelihood as a narc, making Dieter's arrival to Crooked River more conspicuous than he'd hoped. A beautiful written story that takes you from the moonlit beaches of Quintana Roo to the historic town of Crooked River, Florida. Fever Tree is a story about grief and loss, but ultimately healing and finding your way again. And then this book is Mammoth, and it comes out next month, September. It says Mammoth View, California is hit with the news of an attack on a summer morning. It's not clear what happened, but it's bad, and it's not over. As residents panic and leave town, the police chief and his deputy set off into the woods to investigate. The campsite attack is the perfect coincidence for Billy Lane. Looking for the biggest score of his career, he's targeted the local bank. The robbery does not go well, and the aftermath goes even worse. Over the next 24 hours, chaos descends on Mammoth View. What really happened at the campsite outside of town? And the next book comes out September the 26th, and it's called Woman of God by James Patterson and Maxine Pietro. St. Peter's Square, Rome. When smoke signals that a new pope has been chosen. Is it possible that the new pope is a woman? The world is watching as massive crowds gather in Rome, waiting for news of the new pope, one who promises to be unlike any other in history. It's a turning point that may change the church forever. Some followers are ecstatic that the movement reinvigorating the church is about to reach the Vatican, but the leading candidate has made a legion of powerful enemies who aren't afraid to kill for their cause. Faith has never come easy for Bridget Fitzgerald. From her difficult childhood with drug-addled parents, to her career as a doctor healing the wounded in Sudan, to a series of trials that test her beliefs at every turn, Bridget's convictions and calling have made her the target of all those who fear that the church has lost its way. Dangerous adversaries who abhor challenges to tradition, locked in a deadly high-stakes battle with forces determined to undermine everything she believes in, Bridget must convert her enemies to her cause before she loses her faith and her life. Spanning the globe, from the drug dens, high-powered law firms, and churches of Boston to the horrific brutality of a civil war in the Sudanese desert, to the beauty, violence, and spiritual enlightenment of the Holy Land, Woman of God is an epic, thrilling tale of perseverance, love, trust, and nothing less than what it means to live in a fallen world. And then this is a middle grade. It's called The Scourge, and it comes out tomorrow. So I don't have, there's no blurb to read about it. It just says, when a plague isn't all that kills. So this is about a scourge. Okay, here's as a lethal plague sweeps through the land, Annie Mells is shocked when she is unexpectedly captured by the governor's wardens and forced to submit to a test for the deadly scourge. She is even more surprised when the test results come back positive and she is sent to Attic Island, a former prison turned refuge and quarantine colony for the ill. The scourge's victims, Annie now among them, can only expect to live out short, painful lives there. However, Annie quickly discovers that she doesn't know the whole truth about the scourge or the colony. She's been caught in a devious plot, and with the help of her best friend, Weevil, Annie means to uncover just what is actually going on. But will she and Weevil survive the scourge and the governor's wardens long enough to make their escape and expose the cruel plan? The Scourge is an explosively thrilling tale of adventure and intrigue, courage and heart from the New York Times and U.S. Today's best-selling author of The False Prince, Jennifer A. Nielsen. And the next one is Frostblood by Ellie Blake, and it comes out in January of next year. The first in a page-turning young adult series about a world where flame and ice are mortal enemies, but together create a power that could change everything. 17-year-old Ruby is a fireblood who must hide her powers of heat and flame from the cruel Frostblood ruling class that wants to destroy all that are left of her kind. So when rebel Frostbloods demand her help to kill their rampaging king, she agrees. But Ruby's powers are unpredictable, and she's not sure she's willing to let the rebels and an infuriating yet irresistible young man named Arcus use her as their weapon. Before they can take action, Ruby is captured and forced to fight for her life in tournaments that pit Fireblood prisoners against Frostblood champions. Now she has only one chance to destroy the maniacal ruler who has taken everything from her and from the icy young man she has come to love. After earning a degree in English literature, Ellie Blake held a series of seemingly random jobs, landing on her current one as a library assistant. Frostblood is her debut novel, and she invites you to visit her online at ellieblake.com and at Ellie_Blake. Okay, and then the next one is Kill File by Christopher Farnsworth, and it came out last month. Well, actually, it came out this month. Sorry. The author of The Eternal World seamlessly combines history, technology, action, and adventure in this high-concept thriller in the spirit of James Rowlands, Brad Thor, and Douglas Preston. John Smith possesses a special gift that seems more like a curse. He can access other people's thoughts. He hears the songs stuck in their heads, knows their most private traumas and fears, and relives the painful memories they can't let go of. The CIA honed his skills until he was one of their most powerful operatives. But John fled the agency and now works as a private consultant, trying to keep the dark potentials of his gift in check and himself out of trouble. Unfortunately, John is unexpectedly plunged into dangerous waters when his latest client, billionaire software genius Everett Sloan, hires him to investigate a former employee, a tech whiz kid named Eli Preston, and search his thoughts for some very valuable intellectual property. Sloan is convinced he's stolen. But before John can probe Preston's mind, his identity is compromised and he's on the run for his life, along with Preston's young assistant, Kelsey Foster. Hunted by the shadowy enemies with extensive resources and unknown motives, John and Kelsey must go off the grid, and John knows that using his power to their fullest potential is their only hope for survival, even if it means putting his own sanity at risk. And my last book I have here is The Lost Diaries of Elizabeth Cady Stanton by Sarah Bates. Johnstown, New York in 1923. It is a time when a wife's dowry, even children, automatically becomes her husband's property. Slavery is an economic advantage entrenched in America, but rumbles of abolition abound. For Elizabeth Cady to confront this culture is unheard of, yet that is exactly what she does. Before she can become a leader of the women's rights movements and prominent abolitionist, she faces challenges fraught with disappointment. Her father admires her intellect, but says a woman cannot aspire to the goals of men. Her sister's husband becomes her champion, but secretly wants more. Religious fervor threatens to consume her as she faces depression and despair. She records these struggles and other dark confidences in diaries. When she learns the journals might fall into the wrong hands and discredit her, she panics and rips out pages of entries that might destroy her hard-fought reputation. Relieved, she believes they are lost to history forever. But are they? Travel with Elizabeth into American history and discover a young woman truly ahead of her time. And that's all the books I have for this week. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you've had a good reading month in August, and you will have a good reading month in September. Thanks. Bye.